Hey, how you doing? It's Lee K and just dropped in once again to talk about radio because radio is what I love and radio is what you love. This is why you're on the YouTube channel. This is why you're on Facebook on Izwa. Connect with us, like the page, share the page, ask your questions. We'll respond about radio. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's Izwa in caps. It's IZWAA, and connect, subscribe, ask your questions, and we'll definitely respond. Okay, so we want to talk about creating fly radio, and we want to talk about the magical letter C. I do have a whole A to Z of creating the DNA of a great presenter. But today we want to look at what I consider one of the most significant letters in that A to Z, and that's the letter C. Right. So let's begin right from the top. If you are going to be a good presenter, right? If you are going to be a phenomenal, outstanding, almost excellent, unforgettable, memorable presenter, the one that brings in the money to the radio station, the one that brings in the numbers, you need to remember these 10 C's. But first of all, before we get into the 10 C's, which sometimes I lose, but I think I'll get to the 10 today. I need you to also remember that you need to be compliant and you also need to be competent. Those are other two C's outside the main C's that I'm going to talk about today, which are the 10 C's. So first of all, and I think almost obviously, we want to talk about you being a good communicator. What does it mean being a good communicator? It just doesn't mean communicating is speaking. You need to have two of them. You need to be a good speaker and a good listener. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be a good communicator, listen and speak. Speak and then listen. So it's two-way. Communication is two-way. The second thing that I'm going to talk about, the second C, is consistency. Whatever it is that you're going to do, think about it. In any relationship, you need to be consistent. But consistency does not mean doing the same thing every time for a long period of time. It just means sticking to the objective and doing it the correct way. We don't want to wake up to a radio station where today you're there and tomorrow you're not there, or you do this program today at 1:15, tomorrow you're doing it at 20 past. Yeah, we don't want that. We want consistency. That's what listeners follow and that's what advertisers follow. The third one is we want to look at connection. Remember, if you're a good communicator, you're doing exactly what your listeners expect of you, your superiors expect of you. The most important thing is to connect with your listeners. Connect. How do you connect? Be relevant. Use the language that they want to listen to. Be part of them. Yeah, be conversational with them, which takes us to the next C. Be conversational. There is no way you're going to be relevant. There's no way you're going to connect if you're not conversational. Find out what's topping. Find out what's popping. Find out what's happening so that you are a good conversationalist. And remember, communication right at the top. You listen and you speak and you listen. Let's talk about the next C, which is creativity. Yes, creativity. Some are not born with creativity. Some of the greatest presenters are great because they are very creative, amazing, unique, crazy ideas. But if you're not born creative, feed from other presenters. Do not copy and paste, but just feed from other presenters, feed from other types of media, feed from people, ask questions, find out what people want, and just create those unique ideas. The next thing that we want to talk about is, of course, your knowing your competition. If you're going to be on radio, obviously sometimes because you're on radio at the same time with the person that you want to compete with, you cannot. But ask your friends, ask your relatives to record for you and find out who you are competing with. It does not necessarily mean you want to really do fierce competition with them, but just find out what they're doing at the same time slot. Find out and know. The next C that we're going to talk about is be current. Always ask yourself the question, why am I playing this today? Why am I saying this today? Is it relevant for me to talk about this today? The next C that we're going to talk about is always be correct. Reading a script, passing out information, talking about music, giving out information, always be correct. There's no excuses. If you're going to be on radio, always be correct. We want to talk about you also understanding the commercial side of radio, which is the next C. Remember, we spoke about sustainability. It's going to help you, it's going to help your bosses, it's going to help the growth of the station. If you're going to understand that there is a commercial aspect that you need to pay attention to. Yes. Another C that I'm going to talk about, radio now survives, flies, lives on good concepts. Yes, good concepts. Some of your listeners follow you because you've got amazing concepts. Some of the best presenters in the whole wide world are so because of the concepts that they bring to radio. Unique, amazing, some that make sure that they always have people intact. So those are the 10 C's, and I hope I've scored the 10, yeah? I think so. If I miss some, continue listening, continue watching. Remember to subscribe to IZWA, IZWAA, or go to the Facebook page. You'll get some more information on the IZWA Facebook page, IZWA. Thanks for listening, and remember to continue listening to radio. Love radio because it's amazing. It's magic.